Do you have difficulties with anger, yours and other people's? Would you like to feel confident to express yourself when you're feeling angry? Hello, I'm Shantigarbha and welcome to NVC Life Hacks. This time I'm going to give a few reminders about how we address anger in nonviolent communication, and then I'm going to lead Joel through a guided reflection to help him find the life in his anger. But first, some reminders about how nonviolent communication can support us to find the life in our anger. So, transforming anger is part of self-empathy or self-connection. It's in the roots of the tree of compassionate connection. And the key principle here is awareness. So awareness brings increased choice and freedom. And we use the same process for anger as for guilt, shame and depression. So these come together as a group: anger, guilt, shame and depression. Anger tends to be the feeling associated with judging and blaming others. So jackal ears out. And guilt, shame and depression tend to be the feelings associated with judging and blaming myself, so jackal ears in. The real cause of anger is should thinking, or moralistic thinking in general. This is thinking that implies wrongness. And we've learned this kind of thinking at school, at home, at work, and so on in society. This kind of thinking includes the concepts of reward and deserve, and of course punishment. By contrast, we like to say that there's nothing wrong with anger and guilt, shame, depression. There's nothing wrong with having thoughts associated with anger. If we can find the life in our anger, we can use the energy to contribute to life. So now I'll lead Joel through a guided reflection to help him find the life in his anger. Feel free to follow along using your own example. Take a moment to get comfortable. And when you're ready, recall a situation that stimulates mild to moderate anger in you. If you can, find a specific trigger. And stop and breathe. Marshall Rosenberg joked, "Count to 1,000,000 slowly." And when you're ready, get in touch fully with what you're feeling at the moment, in your body. Where do you feel it? Is there tension in your chest or rising up into the throat? Are your fists a little bit clenched? Is there tension in your forehead or temples or in the jaw? Is there tightness in the stomach or the solar plexus? So where do you feel it in your body? And when you're ready, listening compassionately for the thoughts associated with these feelings. What are you telling yourself about this trigger? What's the story? Are there any shoulds in there? What should happen? Or any shouldn'ts? What shouldn't happen? So listening for your thoughts, for your thinking. And when you're ready, get in touch with the need or the values behind or underneath these thoughts. What are you longing for? What are you really longing for in this situation? What would give you a sense of wholeness, even a sense of completeness? And notice that when you're fully in touch with your need or the values, that the story drops away and you no longer feel angry, maybe sad, maybe frustrated, maybe in mourning. So getting in touch with your transformed feeling. And if you feel a new surge of anger, go round again, feeling the feelings, listening for the thoughts, and getting in touch with the underlying needs. And when you're settled in your transformed feeling, make a request to yourself to act on right now, or by the end of the day perhaps. Perhaps to express your feeling and needs to the other person involved, if there is one. Or to meet your need in a different context. So in a moment we're going to bring this guided reflection to a close, so just finishing off in whatever way you choose. So I asked Joel, how was that for him? What touched him? What did he learn in this guided reflection?
Yeah, it was a real journey. I was able to, a situation that did provoke, mild but significant anger, moderate anger came to me. Quite a recent kind of experience, but certainly not unique. And so I was able to connect with that feeling, feel that feeling in my system, very much in my solar plexus and in my throat, very much in my throat. That's where I feel a lot of unpleasant emotions. And I was able to feel it, to acknowledge it, to be present to it, to be with it, rather than being it, and I was able to, then to be with the person on the other side of it, and it did melt away. It did. It was kind of, I could hold it simultaneously then with the love that I have for this person.
And then later on, I asked him what were the needs that he connected with? What was the life in his anger?
So there were two needs. So there was one need which was a need, well, there were actually three needs. The first one was a need for recognition in that moment it was about the work that I was doing, the labour I was performing. The second need was a need for idleness, for leisure, for relaxation. But then actually the deepest need of all really was actually the recognition that it was the need for self-love and the need to accept myself, really, because it was actually myself very often that's not permitting me to relax, because I have to always work, and that's far from unique to me in our society. So actually, I feel a pang of quite strong emotion as I come to acknowledge that need, and so actually it came into a deep experience of self-acceptance at the end, so thank you.
That's it for now. I hope you were able to find the life in your anger and access the energy, the life-serving energy behind it. If you enjoyed this video, you could also try Life Hack 25, which is guided self-empathy reflection. If you'd like to know more, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, or indeed our Instagram channel. You can like our Facebook page, you can join our mailing list, or you can join us at one of our events.